So now we've combined two of the PHP scripts, or rather a PHP script and an HTML page, into one simpler and tighter PHP script. So we can close this one down. The next script that we're going to adapt is the login script. Now, to begin with, we're going to make this script comply with our new setup for the pages that we're going to be using to keep a consistent look and feel for this site. So we can take out all this HTML here, and we can go straight down to the first command, which is the links command here. And let's split this rather long line into two. We need to change the address from logout to the enter page. Let's save this into our new directory that we have here so that we can test it out. Next change that we need to make is to include a setup page command in case the user has already been logged in. And we're going to set this up as already logged in will be the title, and whoops will be the header. Otherwise we'll keep that part of the script the same. As we connect to our database, we need to use a particular username and password to get access to the database. In this case, Poseidon, and the password is Trident. We will be doing a lot of this within our whole site. We'll be connecting to the database a lot of times, and we'll be selecting that same database from the MySQL databases available. So let's take that out of the script and include it within our include file right here. We're going to make a function called doConnect. We're going to take no arguments, and it's simply going to contain those two lines. One other thing that we can add is a pconnect, and this creates a permanent connection which significantly increases the performance of the connectivity with our MySQL database. So that's one thing that we can add to this particular function. Let's save that, and then in the login.php script we can simply include a call to that function rather than specifically connecting to the database with a particular command. We can keep these lines the same, and here we've hit a problem, and how we've dealt with it within our login page was to in fact abandon the user and give an error message should there be a problem with the connectivity with the database. Now, this is not a very user-friendly way to do things. It would be better if we had a fail function in our include file that we could standardize the way our website is going to deal with problems. So let's set up a fail function, and this is going to take two arguments. Going to take the message and a serious argument, which is going to be effectively Boolean, and what it's going to do is, if the set up variable is found to be true, which means that the page has already been set up by the setup page function, then we're simply going to show a whoops as header 2 style. However, if the page has already been set up, I beg your pardon, if the page has not been set up, we're going to call the setup page function and set it up with the title error and the header whoops. Then we're going to show an error message and that within that error message we're going to include the specifics of whatever error has been triggered within the PHP script. Then we're going to test to see if it was a serious problem, and if it was, we're going to offer the user a way to get right back to the start, effectively logging them out. Whether they like it or not. If, on the other hand, it's not a serious error, then we just take them to the main page, presuming that they've already logged in. So all our errors before the user is logged in has to be fully serious errors that are going to take them back to the entrance of the site. Finally, it's a good idea to include some way that they can contact the imaginary technical staff of this imaginary website. And I apologize if there is a greatdebate.com, and I trust that if you use this script you will make sure you change the email address given there to an email address more useful. So that's our fail function. If we go back to our login script, then we can give the much more useful fail function here, database query failed login page. Then we can have a standard error function, but it's also outputted a unique bit of data that will identify, for instance, if they did contact some technical staff, they would be able to identify where the problem had happened, for instance. We could in fact turn this line into one line, seeing as it's only one command that's being carried out.